Good morning everybody, it's Jude Lennon here and Little Lamb Tales with Lammy. We hope you had a lovely weekend. We certainly did. We had a nice rest, we read some books, we watched some old films. It was really nice. Welcome to our storytelling session this morning. As you can see, we've got our special guest. This is Polar Bear. You can give her a wave if you like. She had a very special job last week. She was our guardian of the rainbow. Every day we put a cuddly toy over in our window with our rainbow and we put a poster up on it on our Little Lamb Tales page. So if you want to see who the guardian of the rainbow is today, have a look on our Little Lamb Tales page after lunchtime and you'll find out. Right then, we've got our story bag full of lovely tales this morning, but before we do our tales, obviously we have to start with our song. If you've been to this before, you'll know how it goes. It's really easy. Even grown-ups can pick it up, and if you're watching at school, teachers can pick it up as well, no problem. Here we go. Ready, Lammy? Hello everyone, how are you? Hello everyone, how are you? Hello everyone, how are you? How are you today? If you're feeling okay, give Lammy a wave. Hi Lammy. If you're feeling pretty good, give yourselves a pat on the back. If you're ready for stories, give me a smile. Fantastic. Okay, so in the bag today, we've got an old folk tale, two old folk tales, and something that I made up myself. So let's see what's going to come out first, shall we? Okay, here we go. Oh, Lammy's so excited he's fallen over. Here we go. Ah, right. Some little yellow boots. Now, they look a bit like baby shoes, but you've got good imaginations, I can tell. So we're going to pretend that these are little yellow boots. Okay, a little bit like Doc Martens, but yellow. Okay, so can we imagine that? Fantastic. And this story is called Fairy Boots. And this story was told to me by Taffy Thomas. And he is a very, very famous storyteller up in Grasmere in the Lake District. And he's got his Storyteller's Garden. And I went to a course he ran. And it's because of him that I am a storyteller, because I saw what he did and I thought, oh, I want to do that. That's what I want to do. And I came back from that course and that's when I started to set up Little Lamb Tales. So this is a special shout out to Taffy Thomas in Grasmere at his Storyteller's Garden. Here we go. Right, Fairy Boots, here we go. This story is from a long time ago, so you know how my stories from a long time ago start. Are we ready? Long, 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 all together, long ago, far away from here, there was a man, and that man had been walking. Let's go. He'd walked and walked and walked and walked, and he walked some more. He walked and walked and walked and walked. His feet, oh, they were so sore. And so he looked around for somewhere to sit. Let's look this way. Let's look this way. He looked this way and he spotted a little path going through the woods. There'll probably be somewhere in there I can sit down and rest my feet. Are we ready to walk into the woods? He walked and walked and walked and walked. Hello everybody who's watching. And when he got into the woods, he found not only a big tree, but there was also a lovely little pool. I know, he said, I'll take my boots off and I'll put my feet in the pool to keep nice and cool. So he took off his boots. Can you take off your boots? He put his feet in the water. They were a bit smelly. And he lay back. Oh, that was good. All of a sudden, his sleep was disturbed. Excuse me, said a little voice. What do you think you're doing? He opened his eyes, but he couldn't see anybody. He looked all around. Where was the voice coming from? And a little thing tapped him on the shoulder. It's me! And a fairy flew in front of his face and hovered just here. She was very cross. You can't be here. This is the place we're having the Fairy King's special birthday celebration. Take yourself off. Oh, I'm just resting my feet, said the man. They're really sore. I've been walking for days. Please, can I not just rest for a few minutes? No, absolutely not. The Fairy King's birthday celebration is happening and we've got to make it all look nice. Take yourself off. And your rotten old boots. I know my boots are not in good shape, and I think that's why my feet are so sore. If only I had a nice new pair of boots, I could walk away from here and you'd never see me again." "Never see you again?" said the fairy. Let me see what I can do." And she fluttered away. Let's go. And when she came back, she was carrying a little tiny pair of yellow boots. "Here you go," she said. "New boots. They're really lovely, but they're not going to fit me. They're tiny. Look at them. They're fairy boots, not boots for me." "Oh, you'd be surprised," said the fairy. "They're bigger on the inside than they look. Just try them." So the man picked up one of the boots, he got one of the boots, and he squeezed his toe in it. And as he did, something very strange happened. The boot stretched and stretched and stretched until it fitted his foot just perfectly. "Goodness me," he said. He picked up the other boot. He squeezed his toe in, and again the boot stretched and stretched and stretched until it fitted his foot perfectly. "These boots are amazing," he said. "They're so comfy." "That's right," said the fairy. "Now you've got your boots, take yourself off. I'll go straight away. Oh, and by the way," said the fairy, "don't tell anybody what I gave them to you. You've got to promise." "I promise. I won't tell anybody that you gave them to me. I'll say I found them. Not a problem." And the man picked up his old boots, slung them over his shoulder, and off he went. Let's go. He walked and walked, and as he walked away, the fairy glen was transformed into a special place for the fairy king's birthday. But the man didn't notice. He was busy walking. Let's go. He walked and walked and walked and walked, and he walked and he walked and he walked, not for one day, not for 2 days, but for 3 whole days. And at the end of those days, he thought, "Oh, I think I could do with giving my feet a bit of a wash." The cows in the field agreed, because when he walked past, the cows did not say moo, they said poo. Let's all say that together. Poo, said the cows. "What a smell!" And so the man found a little river. I'll wash my feet here. He took off his fairy boots and he put them on a rock. And he went into the water and he scuffed the water over his feet and he moved his feet around in the pebbles to give them a good old wash. There was a man fishing in the river and he said, "Hey, stop that. You're scaring away all the fish. Don't do that." "Oh," he said, "look, I'm just washing my feet. You know, I've had a long walk. I've been walking for 3 days." "Well, can't you wash them somewhere else?" "Well, no, I've nearly done now. I'm going to put my boots back on." "Those old boots?" "Oh, no, 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 these are just my spare old boots. No, I've got some nice new yellow boots." The man looked around and he said, "But the only boots I can see are those little yellow things. They're never going to go on your feet, are they?" "Yeah, they will, honestly, they will." "How will they go on your feet?" "Well, I'm not really supposed to say, you see, but I found them." "What do you mean you found them?" "Well, I found them. I just found them." "I don't believe you. I think you've stolen those boots. If they're so special and they're tiny but they'll fit your feet, there's something special about them. I think they cost a lot of money and I think you stole them." "I didn't steal them." "I think you did. I'm going to take you down to the sheriff and he will put you in jail." No, said the man. "You don't need to do that. Look, I'll tell you. I was having a walk. My feet were sore. I lay and had a rest and I met a fairy. And the fairy gave me the boots and said that as long as I had the boots and I took myself off and I didn't tell anybody where I got the boots from, I could keep them." "Well, you've just told me," said the man. Uh-oh. The man looked around for his boots. He looked under the bushes. He looked under the bushes. He looked over the top of the wall. The boots were gone. The fairy had heard that he'd broken his promise and she'd flown back and she'd scooped up the boots and she'd taken them away. And the man had to put on his old, smelly, uncomfortable boots and carry on. But he learned his lesson. And after that, whenever he met a fairy and they said, "Don't tell anybody," he never, ever did. The end. Give yourselves a clap. Fantastic. Right, so that was an old folk tale told to me by Taffy Thomas. Let's see what's coming out of the bag next. What do you think it will be, Lammy? Oh, here we go. Right, we've got a unicorn here. Very smart unicorn. Can you see the unicorn there? There we go. So this is a story that I made up. Okay, it's called Raining Under the Tree, because I don't know if you've ever noticed, but when you go outside and it's been raining really, really heavily, even when the rain stops, it still seems to rain when you stood under a tree. Here we go. Are we ready? Long, 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 long ago, far away from here in the enchanted wood, there were lots and lots of trees. Let's see those trees. They grew tall and strong, and they were covered in lots of lovely green leaves. And in those leaves lived the tree fairies. There were lots of them. Some flew this way, some flew that way, some flew high, and some flew low. The fairies, most of the time, were very, very happy, except when it rained. When it rained, they were very miserable indeed, because they stood huddled under the tree and all the water dripped down inside the tree, so it felt as if it was raining under their trees. "I'm fed up with this," said one of the fairies. "Surely we can do something." They looked around. There was nothing they could use. The leaves weren't big enough to hold over their heads. "I know. Let's go and visit the magic unicorn." So off they flew. Are you ready? They flew this way and that way and over the trees until they came to the lake in the middle of the woods. And they called for the unicorn to come out. You're going to call for it. "Hello!" Again. "Hello!" The unicorn stepped out of her cave. She shook her mane. Can you shake your mane? And she stretched. What can I do for you today?" "Well," said the fairies, "we've got a bit of a problem. When it rains underneath our trees and we're getting really, really wet." "Yes, I see. That is a bit of a problem." "I know," said the unicorn. "I've got a bit of a magic spell for that. Close your eyes tight." And she said some magic words. You can say your own magic words at home if you like. I'm going to use abracadabra. Here we go. Should we say our magic words? Abracadabra! And a shot of rainbow came out of the unicorn's horn and dropped lots and lots of little teeny tiny umbrellas right by the fairies' feet. "Don't lose them," said the unicorn, and she went back into her cave. Well, the fairies were delighted. They picked up their umbrellas and they opened them up. "Oh, these are perfect. These will keep us so dry." And they wrapped them back up and they took them back to their tree. Are we ready to fly? They flew this way and that way and over the trees, back to their very own tree. And the next time it rained, the fairies put up their umbrellas over their heads and they stayed nice and snug and dry. Now, you might think that that is the end of our story, but it's not. Because just like me and you and Lammy, I'm sure you've all lost an umbrella at some point in your life, because that's what happens. We put them in places, we leave them on the bus, we take them to our friends' houses and forget to take them home with us. And so one by one, all of the fairies lost their umbrellas. "Oh no, this is no good. We'll have to go back to the unicorn." And so let's go back to the unicorn. They flew this way and that way and over the trees and back to the lake. Are you ready to call for the unicorn? "Hello! Hello!" The unicorn came back out of her cave. What do you want? I've already given you some umbrellas." "Slight problem with the umbrellas," said the fairies. "We kept losing them. Somebody left them in the shop and somebody left them up the tree and we don't know where they've all gone." Yes, you need something that you're not going to lose. Just turn around for me." The fairies all turned around. Your wings are not really big enough, are they? Let me see what I can do about that." And so the unicorn got ready to say her magic word again. Have you got your magic word again at home? We ready? Abracadabra! And another rainbow flew out of the unicorn's horn and delivered lots and lots of really lovely new big sparkling wings, and they fluttered down and landed on the backs of all of the fairies. And they weren't little wings anymore, they were great big wings. Let's see your big fairy wings. "These are wonderful." "Yes," said the unicorn, "I think that you'll find they will be very good for keeping the rain off you. I'm not going to tell you how they work. You can work that out yourself." So the fairies flew home. We're ready now. This time we've got big wings, remember. They flew this way and that way and over the trees back to their very own fairy tree. The next day, it was raining. Let's see the rain. It was raining and raining and raining and raining and pouring and pouring. How are we meant to use the wings? I don't know, said the fairies. What should we do? They tried stretching their wings, and then they realised that when they stretched them, they could put their wings up over their head, and it made a perfect shelter. So all the fairies stood with their wings over their heads until the rain had gone. They were snug and they were dry, and because it was their wings, they were never going to lose their shelter. The unicorn is very wise and very clever, said the fairies. I think we should take something to say thank you. And so they gathered together a little thank you gift. Are we ready to fly to the unicorn once more? They flew this way and that way and over the trees. Hello, hello. Oh, goodness me, said the unicorn. What now? I've no more magic left for you. Oh, no, 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 said the fairies. We don't want anything. We just wanted to say a great big thank you. Oh, you're very, very welcome, said the unicorn, and I hope that your wings will keep you nice and dry for many years to come. And you know what? They did. The end. Give yourselves a clap. Fantastic. Right then, Lammy, we've got one last story in the bag. This is another folk tale. So this one is actually from Ireland. So this is an Irish folk tale. Oh, Lammy is again. He's so excited. Goodness me. Here we go. So this is a spindle, okay, and a spindle is something you catch thread on, and you use it for making clothing and yarn and things like that. And they used them a very, very long time ago to collect all the things that they needed to make yarn and thread to make clothes. Okay, here we go. Now it's an old story, so you know how it begins. Are you ready? Long, 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 all together now, long ago, far away from here, in Ireland, there were 3 sisters. And these 3 sisters loved to sew and make yarn. And they each had spindles. And it was their job to collect different colours. So one sister had to go out and collect all the reds and oranges and yellows that she could find. So she would wander around the woods and she'd collect the red of the berries and the yellow from the leaves and the flowers until her spindle was full. Her other sister, her job was to go and collect all the greens and the browns. And so she would go off as well. She'd collect the grass, you can wind up on your spindle if you like, and she'd collect all the plants and the leaves until her spindle was full as well. The last daughter, she had to collect all the shades of blue and purple. And so she would wander around and she'd collect the bluebells. Let's collect the bluebells and the purple flowers until her spindle was full as well. And then they brought the spindles back and they sat and they sewed and they made perfect, perfect yarn. Now these 3 sisters lived in the middle of the woods. And at night there were lots and lots and lots of animals. And the animals were a little bit scared to come out at night because the moon was there, big and bright, every single night. And because the moon was big and bright every single night, they couldn't hide from the people who wanted to catch them. And so they had to be really, really careful and hide and keep very, very still. But somehow the hunters always managed to find them because the moon was so big and bright. One day, one of the little animals, I think it was a squirrel, came along and saw the sisters with their spindles. Do you think that you could help us? Well, what do you mean? Well, we can't keep safe at night because the moon is so big and bright. Do you think that maybe you could collect some of the moonlight for us so that we have a day and a night that's dark so we can hide? Well, I'm sure we could try, said the sisters, and so they shook all the colours off their spindles and out they went. And they went down to the edge of the sea and they waited for the big silver moon to fill the sky. And when it did, they cast up and they caught the yarn of the silver moon and they wound it onto their spindle. And they just did a little bit each night. They did a little bit and a little bit until eventually there was no moon left, and all the animals enjoyed a nice night where the moon was very, very thin and they could get out and they could get their food safely and nobody came to hunt them. The next day, the sisters looked at their spin and said, oh, the moon looks a bit grubby. I think we need to give it a wash. And so they went down to the edge of the water and they washed the moonlight, and it fell off their spindles and went back out into the water. And the next night it started to go back up into the sky and made just a little tiny crescent. And then the next night a little bit more moonlight washed out and went up into the sky. And the next night and the next night, until eventually the moon was full and bright. And so the sisters went out again with their spindles and they collected it all in and gave it another wash. And that is why we have moonlight that gets bigger and smaller throughout the month. It's the three daughters washing the moonlight to keep it nice and clean, and also to make sure there's a night when the animals can be nice and safe. The end. Give yourselves a clap. Fantastic. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. On Wednesday, we've got a special storytelling theme, because on Thursday it's St George's Day, which is a special patron saint of England, which is where I live. So on Wednesday we're going to do dragon themed stories. All our stories are going to be about dragons on Wednesday, so tune in for that one. And then tomorrow we've got our next instalment of Tales from the Travel Pouch on Jude Lennon author page at 10 o'clock as well. So thanks very much for watching this morning. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you think you know other people who might enjoy it, please feel free to share the video on and let them know as well. And we'll sing our goodbye song. Do you want to come and join us as well, Polar Bear? Are we ready? Okay, everybody. Goodbye, everyone. Nice to see you. Goodbye, everyone. Nice to see you. Goodbye, everyone. Nice to see you. Nice to see you today. Bye-bye, everybody. Stay nice and safe. And we'll see you next time. Thanks then.